Happy day, YouTube. My name is John, and this is my channel, The Intermancer. At the end of the last episode, I had just applied some changes to the organism class that were necessary for me to be able to post organisms to my server that would get added to the repo. I'm going to be going through the rest of the changes now that are necessary for that to happen. I think I'm going to hit a bit of a problem spot when I get to the individual genes. I'll probably have to start adding type information to the output, to the serialization, so that the organisms get deserialized properly. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, we're just going to go over here, and it basically said you need to look at everything. Files that need updated. It said with gene and chromosome, data quantum consumer, consume and get ID. I don't know why it's talking to me about data quantum consumer. Did it actually read everything based on my... Identify which ones need to be updated to comply with the changes in organism domain objects. Data quantum consumer. Get ID. I want to check this out real quick. Sorry for going down the rabbit hole here. Consume and get ID. It has those, so why does it say that I need to verify? That's just not too useful. Okay, so we know organism and we know data quantum, so let's do that. Rewrite data quantum so that, chromosome so that it matches the, how did I say it up here? How did I say it down here? So that it is consistent with that. There. I accidentally got the edit button. Okay. Okay. What did it give me? ID. It took out the final. I think there's a final. Let's see. Organism had final. Does chromosome have final for the ID? Private string ID. No, it doesn't. Okay. So, get ID, set ID, consume. All this should be fine. Copy this. Give me the default constructor. Oh, what about the constructor that took ID? Did it not already have that? Chromosome. Get ID, set ID. Wow. I've been going just with the default constructor from chromosome. Okay, all that's explicit now. Let's copy that, go over here. Paste in the new one, save that, and do the build. Make sure everything's successful there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the changes at this level, push all that up to the repo, and then ask it for changes to the test classes. And we'll see if it can give me all of the changes to test classes that are necessary. There shouldn't be that much since I'm just adding a noarg constructor and a set ID method for most of these things. So that should be fine. Let's go ahead and grab the prompt I used, rewrite. Data quantum. So good. I didn't I didn't specify that it needs an ID. I don't want it to need an ID. Data point is all the same. Does data quantum already have a NORG constructor? That may have been a waste of my time. Data quantum, get source ID, data point. Okay, that's that. Get value. Get data point, add value. Okay. All it really needed was that NORG constructor. So we say add data point, get data point, add value, get value. Do I really need this? I need the data points. Data points, NOR constructor, get data points, set data points, add data point, get data point, add value, get value, data point, source ID, get set, get value, set value, and NOR constructor. Okay, I think this satisfies everything that I needed there. Give myself more real estate. Okay. I don't need data quantum consumer. Gene, abstract class. Gene has NOR constructor, set ID, get ID. I don't think I need to make any changes at this level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push up these three. Updated organism, chromosome, and data quantum so that they can be serialized and deserialized by Jackson. Push this. I am going to go over here and in my projects, go to Guy F, update, sync it with everything there. Organism, chromosome, and data quantum have all been updated. Update their test classes. Do their test classes need to be updated also? Okay, data quantum test, it looks like everything's good there. Chromosome test, all methods are implemented and cover the functionality. Organism test, gene test. Okay. So now we do the build. Go back to our server. Start it up. And then I go over here to Postman and we send 500. What's happening? Ooh, what's the error? Oh, I bet it's going to be about not being able to find those genes. In context with path, group through exception, no such method, error. required. What? Genes, ID, target list. Where's that coming from? Okay, go down by the bottom of this stack trace. At. Start going up, looking for the first thing. Where is it calling that? JSON property is required. Okay, where did we add JSON property? We did that to organism. JSON property. Okay, so let's see. I tried to post to use the organism repo post endpoint to add an organism to the repo, and I got this error. Why? The only JSON property annotation is on organism, is on the argument, the property for organism dot organism string ID. Why am I getting that error? Why am I getting that error? So let's see. A Java error related to Jackson. The error no such method indicates that there's mismatch. Dependency version mismatch. But there might be conflicting. Okay. Fix issue check. Make sure you have core, data bind, and annotations. Okay, since the error occurs specifically on the other Jackson libraries. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this. We're going to add dependencies for all of these. Right now I just have Jackson data bind. So we'll add Jackson annotations and Jackson core, and we'll parameterize the version for those and see if that gets it to work. And then for build Gradle stuff, I'm just putting stuff inside of the okay, org, Spring Framework, Java, source compatibility. Okay, for now, let's just add it in. Data bind, core data bind and annotations. Core data bind, annotations. Let's see if that works. If that fixes my problem. Let's see if that builds. Build successful. Well, that's good. I think I need to start putting a test in here that just starts up the annotation context, just starts up a server to see if there are any. Well, that's not going to do it, would it? Okay. That would not do what I wanted it to do, so I won't bother with that. GaiaF core application. Start this up. Remember, it was starting up fine before. We expect it to start up fine now. And let's see if this works. Another 500. Is it the same 500 error? Oh, my heavens. I feel like this is going to make my simple list stuff just not work. I think I'm going to have to just give up on that for now, so that I don't have to have the different versions of the JSON, because of the version of Spring Boot that I'm looking at probably depends on the previous version of JSON. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see if that works. If that works, then I'll just change my context and see what happens. Get rid of that, and I just won't have pretty arrays. It'll be fine because I'm going to be updating the response anyway. That should be fine. Build this. Manage of P. Clean that. Let it all build. This is definitely something I'll need to edit out. Definitely all this wait time on the build stuff. Okay, whatever. I don't have any problems here. Everything started. Didn't find the output I wanted, but that doesn't matter much. Let's see if it runs. Now let's see what happens here. Please tell me I at least got a different error. Okay, excellent. A different error. I didn't get the is required error, so that means I got past that version problem. And I said earlier, I'm probably going to have this problem with the genes. So, source in location, add source, redacted, streamlined feature. Okay. Genes are not deserializing correctly. I need to add type information to the serialization. And so, how do I do that? Deserialize correctly, you need to include, okay, it's giving me a lot there. Let's wait. To ensure that genes or any polymorphic types deserialize correctly, you need to include type information in the JSON during serialization and deserialization. Jackson provides a mechanism for this using the JSON type info annotation. Annotate the base class, okay, at the JSON type info annotation, the base class, i.e. gene, to include type information in the serialized JSON. You can also use JSON subtypes to specify the mapping of subtypes. Ooh, I do not want to do that. Use property type. To ensure that all are properly annotated and extend the base class. Okay. Configure the object in your application should already handle this if you're using the default configuration. Okay, verify JSON payload. Okay, so it looks like I just need to do this. We're going to test this out, then we're going to figure out how to get this into the context and regenerate gene so that it includes this annotation, and that's the way we're going to do this. So I'm going to copy this. I just want to do it on gene, and it would be at the abstract class level. Boom. Okay. Make sure that this builds. That was successful. Close, hide this. Stop the server. Restart the server so that it does the compiling. It did that. Now, over here, I am going to first I need to seed it so that I can pull out. Oh, it kept that. Weird. Computers are weird sometimes. I just reverted everything to the defaults and all of a sudden it started serializing things for me. Or putting the new lines. You know what I bet it is? I bet it's because I needed to clear the cache in Visual Studio Code. That does not say good things about Visual Studio Code. Anyway, I got to keep what I wanted. Apparently I struggled with it unnecessarily earlier. Now I need to get this one out. Organism repo, so that'll be fine. We'll take all this. Does it get the type information? Genes, type, look at that, addition gene, okay. It might need the full thing, we'll see. We'll see. If this works, then it's doing that because it is, if this works, it's working because it doesn't need the fully qualified class name in the type. Wow, it's already up. So I should be able to send this. Bad request. What's it get this time? Simple type. Pojo property genes. Genes? What? Genes? That's weird. Why does it need type for genes? There's no ambiguity there. Chromosome. Genes, list of gene. Okay. That's weird. So, it wants the type for Pojo missing type ID property. Because on organism, chromosome. Okay. Oh, genes on chromosome, right. Could not resolve missing type ID. Could not resolve subtype of simple type. I don't understand what's going on here. Okay. We're going to Claude and ask Claude. I'm going to push everything up to the repo and refresh and ask it why I got this error, so it has the update for chromosome and for gene. Chromosome, what's this mean? Whatever. Add all this stuff. Added JSON type info to gene. That's good enough. And cleaned out the Jackson version info from build.gradle. Okay. Back over here, copy this error message, copy this, go back to Claude, go back to the project, open a new chat, sync everything with the repo, sync started, still going, 13%, looking good. And when I try to post an organism to the organism repo endpoint, I get this error. What is wrong? Why does it need type information for the list gene property called for the genes property? Property. The error indicates that Jackson doesn't know which concrete could not resolve type, subtype of. This tells us to include in the JSON to identify the concrete subtype. However, in your JSON payload, you don't have the type for your gene implementations. Genes. Okay, that's wrong. I do have that type information. Oh, this is that JSON subtypes. Add all of them? I can't do that. A better approach is to add JSON explicit to all possible subtypes. Wow, that is ridiculous. I can't do that. I'm going to end up having a lot of genes. If I do that, then this is going to have to do all of those. Okay. I bet, and I'm just guessing, that if I do something so that the type information is full, no, it's having, add this. Oh man. Okay, we're gonna have to do the subtypes thing. This is very unpleasant. Very, very unpleasant. I do not like this approach. I do not like this approach at all. Okay. We are going to have to do this, though. This is ridiculous. It's not a good solution. Can I fully specify? Oof. Okay. Wow, this is crazy. Let's just see if this works. Gene. And right now I have gene. Addition, multiplication, subtraction, division, sign. Wow, I am going to need a lot of these eventually. Hopefully I'll have under 100 different genes. And that'll make this file, this annotation, really long. I really don't like that. I really, really super duper don't like that. Use the name of the type. What are the options here? Do I have other options? Class. Let's see if this works. I do not want to have to do class. Use the class. If this works, then let's see if it builds appropriately. Okay. Okay, built. Now we're going to run it. And now I'm going to test it. Oh, no, that wouldn't work. We don't expect that to work. You got nothing in you, right? List, nothing. Okay, good. That's happy. So now we should go to experiment. That works. Now I need to list that. Has the fully qualified names there. So let's see if this works. Copy all that. Go here. Paste this. Send. It didn't give me an error. It may have errored out because the ID was wrong. We'll see. It didn't give me an error. I need to restart my server. Check on the list. That's empty. Now I push one of these in. That worked. Redo the list. Did it. It did it. Okay, here's what happened. In case you don't understand what happened, that was interesting. That was exciting. And that was a good example of me needing to know what I'm doing. Excellent. I've been looking for a lot more examples of needing to know what I'm doing and spending time with this stuff. Okay, so Gene, this JSON type info had use, and at first it had the name, which is just the end name of a class. So all of my genes here, if for addition gene, for example, it was just putting addition gene as the type, which meant that when I sent the information from Postman to the server, addition gene was kind of ambiguous. It didn't have enough information for the server to find the definition of addition gene so that it knew what to instantiate. But over here in gene, instead of name, id.name, I used id.class, which gave me the fully qualified Java class name. See that? So that meant that all of the information was available. Then I had to go back and regenerate everything like you saw, but it worked. It worked. That was awesome. That felt great. Now we need to get that into the context so that it generates things correctly. Okay. So, okay, this is an organism domain objects. Gene implements a template method for a test gene. Since gene can have many different subclasses, the gene's property, it needs to have a, what is it? JSON type info annotation, from Jackson. Where's my context? Frick. JSON type info annotation from the Jackson library that forces serialization and deserialization to use a fully qualified class name for the type property for the type. Okay, now this is going to be interesting because we're not going to push the change to gene. We're just going to push the change to the context document and see if Claude, when we update, will give us the correct version of gene based on this change to the context document. Updating the context organism domain objects.md document so that serialization of gene includes serialization of any gene subclass includes the fully qualified class name. Commit and push. And then go over here to Claude, to my projects, do this, do this. Organism domain objects, organism domain objects.md has been updated. Rewrite gene.java so that it matches the description. Okay, let's see what happens. Does it get that right? Does it get this right? We need that JSON. JSON type info's there. Name. Okay. So we're going to ask it how to update the JSON type info annotation should be using copy this dot class. How should I change organism domain objects .md so that you generate the class, the gene.java file correctly? Okay, I told it was wrong. Instead of name, I would in the gene section. It needs to have where it currently. I would be more explicit since gene can have many. It needs to have a JSON type info annotation from the first to be used. Specifically, it should use. So just give it the whole thing. Okay, so it's saying just give it the whole thing. You know what? I'm gonna go with that. I am going to go with that. I'm going to go with that. I'm just going to add that here, paste that in, save that. I'm just going to add all this stuff too and push it up. Added a little bit more to the gene specification in organism domain objects so that gene gets generated with the correct JSON type info annotation. JSON type info annotation. Commit and push. Okay, JSON in and out. I've got JSON, I've got the organism in and out. Looking good. Looking good. We're done for this branch. I'm going to go ahead and merge everything to master. I'm not going to do that on camera. I appreciate your time. This video is a little bit long. I'll try to edit it down. I had some interactions with my daughter I'll get to edit out. But this is exciting because this is where I've been trying to get to for the last couple of weeks. I can now input and output organisms from the repo using the web browser, using the API, the REST API, as God intended, or as whoever created the REST standard intended. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to the next video.